All right, we're going to do Wuji. And the first few times I heard that word Wuji, I felt subconsciously or maybe very consciously uncomfortable with the word. So we'll just bring it out. It is not Ouija, okay? Or Ouija. It's Wuji, W-U-J-I, Wuji. And what Wuji means is formless. And so traditionally, anciently, they believe that Wuji is the divine substance, the Qi, that existed before we did, that we are comprised of. So it existed before yin and yang, and before male and female. So that is Wuji. Well, how does that apply to the form that we do? It's considered formless. So yes, we're not just going to be standing there and doing nothing. We have movements that we do, but how we connect those movements is completely individual. So there's no right or wrong way to do Wuji. The entire intent of Wuji is to have your entire body, your arms, your legs, your torso, your mind, your hands interacting with the plasma of Qi around us, the Wuji. And so the reason that we teach this last is that to get your hands and your mind and your legs all to move at the same time takes some coordination. And so when you learn to do it though, once you get past the am I doing it right, you will probably feel the Qi stronger than you ever felt it. It is very, very powerful and it's very liberating. I like to think of the Wuji as kind of the interpretive dance of Qigong. And the reason that I like it, it is considered the most healing of all the forms because it's completely individual. So there may be some moves that you do that you really feel the Qi strongly, and you would continue to repeat those moves, you know, in a sequence or later. So Wuji is the most liberating of all, but it's also considered the most healing because we're absorbing the Qi through our whole person. And I'll tell you a story about it. I was talking to Ed upstairs, our videographer. And because I work so much with trauma survivors and I am one myself, I'll go ahead and relate this story. I went to see a movie, and it was a comic movie. It was like a DC comic movie, and so I had no idea what the content would be. Extremely violent. I watch war movies all the time. I live with a soldier, and that was fine. But the graphic violence in this was so disturbing to me that I told my boyfriend, I have to go. I sat through 20 minutes and by then I was shaking and I said, I have to go. So it was a very long movie. It was over 2 hours. I said, you're welcome to stay. And so we were in a place that there was a park very close. So I walked to the park and I did Wuji to get back into a calm, grounded state so that I wasn't in fight or flight and I wasn't in, you know, a difficult flashback because I was extraordinarily disturbed by what I saw. And it takes a lot to disturb me. I've been through some stuff. In a different setting, I'd use an expletive there. So, Wuji is a way to bring Qi into your body, but it creates enormous strength. So I did Qigong, Wuji, in the park for about an hour and a half, maybe longer. And by the time I finished, I felt so strong, like physically strong. I called my sister and I said, I feel like Samson must have felt like I could literally pull down buildings like a superhero. And it was astounding because I'd never done Qigong for that long. And it was outside and there were trees around. So I was absorbing the tree energy, the Qi outside. So I want you to know it's a super powerful practice. In Qigong, and you probably won't be out demonstrating this for people, but as instructors we do. It's a way to attract people to Qigong. So Jeff Primack says there is cool Wuji and there is weird Wuji. So how you move will either make people go, that person doesn't have all the cookies in the jar. Or, wow, that's really cool. I want to know what that is. Mm-hmm. And the biggest difference is in whether it's cool or weird is how fast you're moving, or what you're doing with your face, and how natural and comfortable you feel in the flow. So I've been a martial artist for many years, and I studied hard style karate. And I have needed to be very much a warrior in my life to be safe and to live. And so the hardest part for me in this part will be not getting my super warrior face on, right? So that I don't intimidate people. But there's so much power in this practice that I might go into that kind of hard style face. But so let's talk about how Wuji works. And I will take my shoes off in a moment and do a demonstration for you. There are multiple components to Wuji. And the first one that we will work with is feet. So your feet, we're going to do Wuji lines, where you just, all you're thinking about is just moving forward. And then I'll show you how you can turn and move and lift your leg and have the balance and all that sort of thing. So as you progress in your ability to do Wuji, you could do a lot more fancy footwork. But we're not going to require that of you, because your hands are going to be doing one thing. You're going to be breathing, you're going to be trying to feel and absorb the chi, and then your feet have to work. So it's a little bit challenging, but once you get that all together, it is, I think, the coolest thing you'll ever feel. So in Wuji, the feet, they talk about it, we call it walking past the guards or walking on eggshells. So the balance has to be that your knees are slightly bent at all times. So you are going to get a quad workout, I'm telling you girls. Also, as you're moving and twisting, your waist will get a workout, which is kind of fun. I notice when I'm doing this, when I'm done, I have definitely got the obliques going, and who cares? Anyway, so I was going into massage mode there. What I'm saying is it's a full body workout. So it's really, really good. So, and the other thing that's really important that makes weird or cool, you have to be down. Have any of you seen Crouching Tiger? Okay. They're down. A martial artist is down because then you can run, you can move, you can step off the line of aggression. So Wuji was practiced by the warriors, right? They protected the village. They were the warriors. So Wuji, if I'm standing up like here, my center of balance is way up in my chest. But in martial arts, your center of balance is low. It would be, they call it tanden. I studied Japanese martial arts. So it's here. And in order to access that, you have to be down. So if you're bobbing up and down, you're wasting your energy and you're kind of moving things. So we try to say no bob, right? No bob. You'll do it until you start learning. So we have conscious incompetence. We don't know we're doing it wrong. And then we get to unconscious incompetence. We don't know we're doing it wrong. And then conscious incompetence we do. And then pretty soon we're just competent. So the bob is an important factor, how we move our feet. So in martial arts, there's single point balance. Your toes, if you walk like this into my massage business, I'll know that your lateral rotators are tight. This is not the ideal way to walk. However, this is exactly how we're going to walk on our Wuji line. And the reason is, this is called single point balance. If I put my foot here, I can lift a leg and stay for a while. Now, usually better if I don't have a heel, so I'll take that off. But this allows you to balance and change, especially when you're down. If I have it straight, it really doesn't work. So we'll be practicing single point balance with our feet. That's why we do it. It gives you a lot more stability when you stand. So that's feet. And then the arms, there's a lot of variety. There's kind of the 7 basic moves, and then there's some flourishes or some other moves. And I'm going to show you all of them. You're not going to be able to master them today, but I just want to show you how they work. I've even incorporated some of the dance moves that I know from belly dance, because they are actually, oh, look at that, that's a projection move. So you can add all kinds of things. I add some of my kicking lines in, where I'm challenging my balance. So you can do all kinds of things with Wuji. So just remember, there's no wrong way to do it, but I'm going to show you some basic moves that will help to really build the chi and be strong for you. And I'm just excited to teach you this, because we've come a long way over the last, year or so. in learning this. So does anyone have any questions when we start? Okay, so I'm going to cut that and I'll remove my shoes and then we'll go for a demo. All right, so I'm going to do a Wuji demonstration for you. And each time you do Wuji, it's different because you don't plan it out. It's just spontaneous how it suits you. But the one thing that's in common with this form and all others is that you do a little bit of a warm-up to get the chi flowing, and then you move. So I'll just go into my demo now. So. Okay, so I could do that for an hour and a half. That worked in a few of the moves that I'll teach you. It's very flowing, and the pace, we go very slow so that you can feel the chi. So I'm going to teach you a move, and then I'll show you different ways, variations of that. And so I'm going to kind of demonstrate the first few moves, and then I'll have you line up and we'll do the lines. So I want you to just let go of all your inhibitions. Nobody cares how you do it. It's Wuji. Can't do it wrong, all right? So the first few are the subtle movements, and so and some of these will be very familiar to you. So the pulsing, we've done pulsing, okay? So that helps to concentrate the chi, pulsing. And spiraling, we've done spiraling forward. We've done spiraling here. We've done full body spiraling. So the circular movements, the spiraling, the chi really likes that, and it will be very strong when you do the spiraling. So there's also rotation. So when we do pulsing, we're collecting the chi with our fingertips and the palms of our hands. When we do rotation, it's this surface and this surface as they move up. Alright, so it's a little bit different focus. And so in rotation, there's some fancy transitions. So we can do it circular rotation, which he calls locomotion, because it looks like the wheels on a train. Okay? And this is kind of the basic move, a basic transition. So you can do locomotion sideways. You can add body motion in with it. You can do it vertical. You can do it diagonal, where you're turning your body out as you do it. So that would be rotation. And so those are kind of the spiral ones, all right? The subtle ones. And most of them we've done except for the locomotion or the rotation. So it's really cool because there's going to be quite a few ones that we do here. Then we'll pause and we'll do something with that. So that's the subtle moves. The next one, we've seen push hands. We've done push hands. We're in level 2 in the drawing the bow. So we're pushing the hands. So this is the hand with the chi. This is the receiving hand. Usually fingertips are up with the hand that's pushing and horizontal with the hand receiving. So what happens then is that the hand receiving has twice the energy. So it's kind of fun. So you wait until you kind of feel the chi moving the other hand and then you move it. And so as we do push hands in Wuji, you let it take your whole torso around as you're walking. So you would be pushing all the way over as we do the lines. And that will get really good spinal mobility in. So that is, push hands. The next one is projection. So when we did level 2 healing form and we do full body cleansing, that's a projection move. We're putting the chi out of our hands. We keep the hands at a 45-degree angle. We're always keeping the knees bent. And we can cleanse the whole body. So you could hold a pose where you're up. You can hold a pose this way, however you want to do it, and you're cleansing. The hands are kept at a 45-degree angle, and you're imagining sending the chi down. You can cleanse a specific organ. Let's say you're having stomach trouble. You can cleanse the organ. You can cleanse whatever it is you need to. You can send the cleansing down your arm or down your legs. All right, so that's a cleansing. So we have projection. Those are projection moves. We had the push hands. We had the subtle moves. Okay, and you probably saw me and you'll recognize, he calls it swimming, where you are swimming through the chi. We don't do too many backstrokes with this. But notice if I was just walking like this, that's kind of weird, right? But if you add some angle to it, it creates a little drama, right? With your feet. And then sometimes you'll stop and pulse. So mid-motion, pulsing in, pressing. Okay, so pressing is a subtle movement as well. So that's swimming. We talked about locomotion. And it's like you're tracing along a great big disc. It's a circle. And so locomotion, then we get the swimming. What else have we got? Let's start with those. So I think the easiest one to do is swimming. Everybody's done it, right? Everybody's tried swimming. So this is what we would be doing with our swimming line, our Wuji line. So first thing I want you to do is just practice the Wuji walk. Okay, so it's down low. You want to keep your head on the horizon mostly, looking forward. And it's called, so it's a heel toe. We walk heel toe. But this is super exaggerated. It's going to be very slow. Walking past the guards or walking on eggshells. When you slow your walking down this far, you'll be surprised at how much balance it requires. your feet will move and make little adjustments as you go. And so let's do that first. I want you to practice the Wuji walking. So we're going to form two lines. Well, one here, one here. And let's see, we got an even number. I'll go behind someone so that there's an even number. 3 and 3. So I'll be at the front, and you can be there right beside me. And we're just going to walk to pretty much the end there before we're actually right on top of Ed. And so your stance is about shoulder width apart, and you're walking with your feet at about a 45-degree angle. So just go ahead and start walking. Keep your head up. Let your feet adjust as you go. You could bring your arms out so that you've got that nice open heart. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It really is. You go, I know how to walk. And then you try slowing it down. And there is a lot of balance required. Your feet will move underneath you. So it's a glide. I'm gliding. And then you go to the back of the line and we let people come ahead of us. So we'll do it again. Come around, we'll do it again. Did everybody find that a little bit challenging? Mm-hmm. Kind of crazy, right? All right, so this time, as we do the feet, our Wuji walking, my floor is not balanced, and I apologize. I've got this tapestry of different levels because when I have the massage tables in here, it helps me mark where they go. So let's just try spiraling. So just nice and relaxed. Everybody knows that. And so bend first, bend your knees first, and then just start the Wuji walk. And try to keep your head level, so no bobbing. And believe me, if you do this, your quads are going to get strong. And sometimes as you lose your balance a little bit, your head will bob. We'll get over it. All right, so we've done one of our little subtle movements. We've done the spiraling. There we go. All right, and it's kind of challenging just to keep your center of balance when you're down low, crouching a little bit. All right, so we'll come back here. And we're going to make this really easy. We're going to do open and close, right? We all know open and close. And so then there's the breathing, right? So we're going to try to open with our inhalation. And as we bring it closer together, we exhale. So now we will begin our Wuji walking. All right, so go ahead and breathe in. Exhale. It's like learning to walk all over again, right? All right, so the next subtle movement is pressing or pushing. And so I'm going to show you a couple of cool variations with the pressing. So if I'm pressing forward, the chi is there resisting me. So we're feeling that boundary of the chi. So you can press forward. Just say I'm here. And we press and feel that chi. And then you can also add a nice, you're pushing away, and then turn the hands. This is receiving. Now you're bringing the chi in. Pushing the chi away, And then you turn the palms up and you're receiving. So you saw me probably do this. Is a nice expanded receiving. All right. And so with the push hands, we can also kind of manipulate the chi. The chi isn't, it's very dynamic. So if we turn our palms like this one's a push hands, but it's slinky. Everybody played with this slinky before? Mm-hmm. So yeah, and close your eyes and just feel that as you do that, seriously, the chi moves with you. It arcs, it pours into your opposite hand, and you push up and it pours into the opposite hand. So this is a push, slinky hands. And you can do it this way too. So you can push, and it meets you on the other side. So this feels really cool to me. I love pushing. And so this time, when we do the Wuji line, we're going to push hands. So you can decide whether you want to do slinky, push, and receive, or you might want to vary them. So this time we'll do push. Okay. We're going to go back and I'm going to teach you a really, really cool combination of a push hands, push and receive. It's called Parting the Sea. So we're coming back on this, on the line again. So this one, it feels so amazing as you part the sea and move through it. So it starts with, you scoop the chi, so it's a nice round circle. You bring it up to about middle dantian, chest height. You push it out, and then you step through it. So this is the parting of the sea. And so as you're walking, it's scoop, real slow, bring it up to chest height, push it out, and then part the sea, walk through it. So you can imagine that you are scooping up the energy of the earth, pushing past all the barriers and obstacles, and stepping into a new situation or a new life. This is probably my favorite push move. Isn't that cool? Mm-hmm. I know at the end, like, we kind of run out of space here, but it's still a fairly good size room. So that is pushing. Let's do one more push where we do push out, and then instead of walking through, push out and then turn and receive. Maybe push to the side, turn and receive, push and receive. Okay? Everybody good with that? So we'll start about here. I'll have you step back a smidge, Wendy, and then there we go. Gives you more room to practice. All right, so we're going to push. And then receive. So that's just a palm up, kind of a rounded motion. Push. And then receive. And push. Receive, push, and receive. And push. And receive. Push. And receive. And those all feel quite different, don't they? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this one, the receiving, obviously, that's receiving divine chi, or favor or blessing. Okay, so let me see what we have covered. I just combine them all together and I don't always finish the move. So I'm having to break it down in my head and make sure that I teach you exactly what we need to do. So, so come on back this way. So I'm going to teach you the most, we're going to do the rotation. We're just going to practice it. So there would be straight like this. That would really be choo-choo. Okay. Mm-hmm. But if you add a little wrist rotation with it, now how cool is that, right? So straight up and down. All right. So here, here, and you can walk that. Try to keep your thumbs not up like a hitchhiker thumb, but tucked a little bit. And you can bring, so it's almost the opposite. You're pushing out and then bringing it away. I mean, toward you. You could do it that way, but it's really awkward. This is much cooler kind of way to do it. Good. Making big movements. So in Qi, in Wuji, big movements and slow. So I'm going to come toward you and you're going to see. So big movements. See how I'm almost covering my whole torso with that? Okay, and then we can do it diagonal. This is the locomotion. So we're still moving forward with our body. And then you can turn and switch the other way. So this is the transition move that we can do in between whatever else we're doing. So we're going to try some locomotion like that. Everybody head to this side. Can you feel your quads? In a hurry. All right, so what we want to do this time is I want you to practice it. You can practice completely horizontal, and then you can switch it and do it the other way. And then I want you to do some vertical. Diagonal. I'm okay. Because we just did vertical. And then you can also do vertical. But if you're doing vertical, put a little wrist rotation into that so that it's spinning. That's it. Awesome. And it becomes very dance-like. So let's start vertical. And now let's go diagonal. And now let's switch to the other diagonal. Big, like you're tracing along a huge gong. Great. At the end we get a little bunched up, huh? All right, excellent. Come on back this way. So that is the locomotion. Let's do swimming. Swimming is super easy. We don't usually do backstroke, although you could, right? That would be very dramatic. Backstroke. There's no wrong way to do it, so you can do whatever you want to. And then that's kind of fun. You get interpretive with that. So we still got our angled walking, our walking past the guards, or walking on eggshells. Same siding. Okay, that's an important concept. So the foot that you step forward with is also the same arm, okay? So otherwise it's super weird. It's too complicated. So you're swimming. And this one's like a really easy fill-in. I forgot. What should I do next? Oh, swim. I can swim. Swimming, yes. Try to take it up over, almost by your ears or the top of your head. Yes. Like you're really swimming. Okay, now I'm going to show you a variation on swimming that looks super cool. So you can watch it from there and then come on back. So swimming can also be done out to the side. So it's like you're flying, all right? So I love this one, especially if I want to get dramatic and I bring my leg up. Or you can alternate. This is actually like in belly dance, snake arms. You can go backwards, okay? Or you can just swim and at the top, pulse inward. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to come back here and everybody's going to do, I'm flying, okay? I'm going to grab a quick swig of water here. Okay, let's fly, Wendy bird. I like to step forward on my right just because that's my dominant side and it's easier for me to start something that way. And you could go really slow if you want to while you're still walking, but your arms are just moving up. So practice maybe varying the speed of your arms as you go. Awesome. You're kind of getting away here, huh? All right, this time, when we do the walking, we're going to vary it. Now my left arm is a whole lot more spastic, can you see? It's had a lot of injuries and it will, can you see it kind of chunk as I go up? But you know what? The more you do it, the more limber you become. And then at some point, do the pulsing, okay? All right, we got it? Head on over. So you see me. Okay, I guess I'll go. Because it would mess up the line, wouldn't it? Okay, so swimming. Same side arm moves forward as the leg. And now switch it up, snake arms. So we've got here. Yeah, that's why we save this one to last. It takes all of your brain going together, but think about how much you are expanding your neural capacity to process information, doing legs different, breathing different, arms different, and then concentrating on feeling the chi. It's a lot. When I first started doing this, I have to admit I did not feel the chi that much because I was so focused on, am I doing it right? Do I look like a spaz? Because I did a lot of dance over the years and I am very, I guess, proudful about, I don't want to do it if I don't look right. So when you let that go, you'll feel the chi once you learn the moves a little bit. So we're going to go back this way. And I'm going to show you push hands when we rotate at the angle. So it's going to look like this. You step out again, this hand, you push, and then turn your hands, step forward and push, and you're rotating all the way around as far as you can with that rotation. Turn your hands, push, and go nice and slow. Feel the rotation of your body, rotation of the hands, and this can be very, very graceful looking once you get it. obviously as you're walking, your feet will be paused, one of them, behind you for a while. And just let that be. Okay. Awesome, ladies. All right, now we're going to do a little bit different footwork. So I remember when I was doing the Wuji testing, they had the guy who was always in front of me. His favorite was crossover. So he spent the whole time doing this. He kind of looked like he had to go to the bathroom. Okay, so you can do crossover, but don't do it like that. That's weird, right? So let's say you wanted to do a crossover. You would maybe move a few forward. And then, nice dramatic step over. And then step to that foot. And then come forward. And then a nice sweep. So, any of you done grapevine? Mm-hmm. Right? So it's kind of like grapevine, but so if you want to do crossover and it's kind of fancier footwork, don't just keep going like step, 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 like you're winding yourself up. So you can do crossover like this. And then you're here in this, you got to let that foot out. And so then you're forward. You would step this foot over, then free this foot, let it come out. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. We're going to try that. No hands. Come on back and we're going to do crossover. So all you're going to focus on is your feet. So we're going to step forward with our right foot at an angle. Step forward with the left foot at an angle. Cross the right foot, sweep it out. Over the left, and then step out with the left so it's not all twisted up. Now step forward with the right, sweep the left foot over the front, step the right foot out. See how natural that feels? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you step left, sweep the right foot over, left foot forward, right foot forward, left foot sweeps over. And if you can do that without your head bobbing, you're really cool. All right, so then I'm going to show you for fun. Let's see, I should start here. So you can do it backwards. And this actually activates very different parts in your brain. When I was working with a massage therapist who does Feldenkrais work, she said when you're on your at the gym, for crying out loud, what is the step? Elliptical, thank you. I know that word except when I'm in chi movement. She said do it backwards. Continue doing it backwards. When we go to her class and she wants to see what our gait is, we have to go backwards. And it activates different parts in your brain. So, let's say you want to do a crossover, stepping backwards. You would sweep it across in here, then free that foot. And then you would probably, going backwards a whole lot harder. You're not going to keep stepping backwards. You can do here. So it's a lot more like a grapevine. And then you can sweep your foot clear across. You could do front, step out, back, step out. But the biggest thing is don't tie your feet up like this. You'll never forget, right? All right, so come on back this way. We're going to be like here and then scoot back as far as you can there because we're just going to practice Wendy, you and I, for a minute. Step back with your right foot. And now sweep this one behind you. And now for fun, sweep this one behind you. So you get the basic motion there, okay? Sweeping, sweeping. Now we're going to go forward, left foot, sweep right foot across. And step out. So we've got that, right? And now step right, sweep it across. And now step back with your right. So you back, sweep left, sweep with the other foot. Okay, so there's lots of variations you can do. All right, so she's like, oh, I don't think so. All right, and you don't have to. If what you'd like to do is just step across and go forward, you can do that. But see, watch what happens once you know that you can do that. So I'll just do something really simple like open and close. You can angle the body, so I stepped here, and then I can go clear out this way. I can step behind. I can angle it. I can turn all the way around. So there is an infinite number of steps that you can make once you feel comfortable with a crossover, forward or back, okay? So I don't expect you to remember this at all. We will do Wuji a few times, and then you'll have the opportunity. We all got in this great big room, and everybody had about a 5-foot bubble, and it's like, don't run into me because I can't see what's happening behind me. And we all did Wuji, and it was pretty awesome. So let's go forward, and we'll just do like 4 or 5 steps with a forward crossover. Start on the right, stepping forward, left foot forward, right foot crossover, left foot forward. Now step back, right foot, left foot crossover and back, right foot crossover. And the torture is over. Let's just proceed forward with some open and close. Ready? Open and close. Just moving forward. Excellent. Now, so there was another gal that was in one of my, she was a dancer, okay, so she liked to really move it, and this is what it looked like. So there's, okay, and then there's, so you can, I have to get my balance. You can step forward and really exaggerate, make it long, and come out. So she was doing this. Okay. The whole time. And it was like, okay, that's off. Right? And she covered the entire thing. There were 800 people there, and she was. So we don't want to do that. However, you can just a little bit step forward. Okay, you don't have to test the balance so much. Just, it's not necessarily walking crane where you're trying to see how high you can go. But if you want to test your balance later, get your arms out so you've got balance and try that. Just stand there for a minute. It's hard. But you got to have the balance. So this would be something where you would be doing something out wide if you want to do, or something when you're in a static pose. So you can do that, but please don't do, I don't know, crane stepping on water lilies. I don't know what that was. Okay, so come on back. Right, so this time we're just going to pick it up a little bit more. So lift your knee, step it out. Lift your knee, step it out. If you feel so inclined that you want to do something with your arms, go for it. But right now it's okay to just focus on feet and trying to keep your head level as you step forward, because we don't want this. Right? We just want it to be nice and level as you glide forward And so then in practicality, awesome. Yes. And it's so much easier if you've got something wide in your posture to do that. So let's say I was going to test my balance and I wanted to work on that. So I could be out here like this for a while and then move it forward. Out and move it forward. I'm not going to make you guys do this. I'm just showing you. Then you could do something like that. Parting the C, step forward, and you could move it like that. So, different variation. If you've got something up high, do something lower next time. Or, if you start losing your balance, step it behind. Try to make it as graceful as possible. Like it was on purpose. So come on back this way. I'm going to show you another move. It's really easy. We're just not going to do fancy footwork. We're just going to proceed forward with duck feet. And it's called sowing the seeds. Super easy. So it's a variation of the locomotion, but it's one-handed. So we'd step forward and we take it all the way out to the side, moving our torso. We step forward, same siding. So left foot forward, right, left arm out. And I'm not going to put you all on the spot and make you try doing it with the feet and the moving in the circle and everything. We're just going to do lines. And as you want to at home, anything that you remember, you can practice with it. And the focus is feeling the chi, not necessarily a perfect move. All right. So that one is sowing the seeds. I've shown you parting the seed. This one is really fun. So it's a combination of receiving and a big circle. So it's a half pike, right? Half pike. So we could do, let's all come back, we'll do half pike and then I'll show you the rest of it. It's real easy. But this huge expansive movement, you'll really feel the chi. So let's start with our hands up to the right, and we step forward with the right foot. So now slowly, 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 circle down, step left. Okay, now at the top here, turn your hands. So we're receiving now. Okay? Step forward. Now turn the hands back out, half pike, real slow. Receive, and you can look up with this one. This is about the only time we look up, but it's the I'm receiving in reverence posture. Half pike. Or you could call this the wave. Receiving. Palms out. Sweep across. The hardest part is to coordinate when your feet move. So once you've got the receiving, then you can step forward and start doing the sweep to the other side. So that one's just, what does he call that? I don't know. Half pike, receive. All right, now I'll show you a variation of that, which is kind of fun. Now, if you didn't want to do the receiving, you can just do half pike all day. It looks pretty cool. So you've got this, and then you can move your hands. Looks cool, right? All right, so we got, this one's called Hawaiian waves. So you're starting, we start, let's say you're up here and receiving. You turn here. And then when you get to the center, you do some waves. And you will feel the chi ripple under your hands. It is the coolest thing. So half pike. And this one is, we don't have to do receiving, we can, but then you have to turn back out with the palms. And then you wave. These are your waves. And you do 2 or 3. And then you're out like that. So let's try that. I really like this one, it's super cool.
I noticed you doing a demonstration like that.
Yeah, I really like that. And so one of the things that he taught us, something to think about, and you're not going to get this all at once. And I'm teaching you all of it. So he taught us like 7 moves, and then we went home and practiced, and then we came back, and he taught us another 3 or 4, and back. So I'm just showing them to you, and whatever you can remember, then practice that a few times. My objective in teaching you Wuji is that in between our weekly practice where we're all together and we have that chi, is that you can do some things at home to help you stay in the chi zone, okay? And so this one is, we're going to do the Hawaiian wave and half pike. So, stepping forward, and then step forward. So this one, the feet are really slow. Now wave, hands trace the wave. Keep body low so that you're not bobbing. And then back up. And now stepping. Waves at the bottom. You can do 2 or 3. I like to do 3 because it feels super cool. So at the end of the line, I know we're all bunched up here. So one of the things that one of my instructors, Jill, taught me, when you get to the end of the line, don't drop the chi. Because you built up all this chi, okay, when you get to the end of the line, finish the move. And then when I was at the end of the line, I always brought it in. I'm getting a lot lower down tien, right? So you can always do that. I know at the end here, you're all kind of bunched up, so don't just drop the chi. That's something that you can't imagine thinking about as you're doing this the first or second time, right? So this one is, let's see, bringing forth divine flame. Cool, right? So you'd be starting, let's say you were out in a movement like this, you would bring your hands up, and then you make a box with your hands, okay? And it's like this. So you watch it. It's like you're holding a candle on a tray and you're shielding it from any wind. And then you switch hands. And so this one you don't have to be doing a lot of movement because you're moving in the torso. Bringing forth divine flame. And it feels really cool. And it looks really amazing, especially if you start doing something like this. Right? Okay, so it's really simple to look amazing. Right?
Pushing a fireball.
Yeah, exactly. Come on back. We're going to bring forth divine flame. I guess there's a cartoon. I've never heard of it because my kids never watched it, but called Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And that they throw chi balls at each other. So Jeff brought in children, to show us how to teach children Wuji. And there were children from 3 till 12 years old. There were about 10 of them. And they all started talking about Dragon Ball Z, and he's like, we don't throw chi. We bring it in peacefully. No hitting each other with chi. It was kind of cute, though. But they catch on fast. They don't have all of the filters and experiences, and they're like, yeah, I feel it. Don't you? I mean, what? You know? So, bringing forth divine flame. So let's start on our right foot, and we'll have the left hand up, right hand is the tray. Step forward, moving torso to the right. This one's super slow. Switching hands, turning to the left. Because the very intentional slow movements, they attract attention. Like, what are they doing? It's super cool. And you can watch this one if you like. I'll show you another one with focusing your eye. This one is bringing forth divine chi or divine flame. And now this time really exaggerate and move your torso all the way. And then step forth at the angle. See how different that looks? When you've got, so I've got my knee extended behind me, so it's flat. But if you just take that, really milk that movement. It looks really quite amazing. And this time when you get to the end of the line, just bring that chi into your lower dantian rather than dropping your chi. However you want to just drag it across. Great. Okay, so I'm going to teach you Tai Chi waterfall. I think it's my favorite, so I'll come over here. Because it's so flowing. Okay, so Tai Chi waterfall is one you can get real dramatic with and be in the so it's movement like this. So this part of your wrist is flat and the other is palm out, and then you turn them the other way. So it feels so natural. If you close your eyes, it's like, oh my gosh, I was made to do this movement. And so it feels very soothing. So you do, let's say, 2 repetitions. 1, 2, and then you turn both hands. So you've got one hand above your head, bring it high, and then you turn your whole torso into that. And then you'd step a leg forward, and then you do this. It's high. Really bring that movement to the end range motion. And then turn. Take it to the other side. Tai Chi waterfall. Okay, everybody's kind of followed along. Let's try it over here. Alrighty. So let's start with a right foot forward. Bring your right arm up and your left arm is low. So it's almost like snake hands in front of you. And at the top, turn your torso as far as you can go. Then bring that hand down. And this one comes up. Do it again. So this one has 2 repetitions and then you turn. We got you in the chi zone, nice and quiet, meditative. You're doing great. This stuff is complicated, guys. I mean, I don't know if complicated is the right word. It's requiring all your mental resources.
I didn't want to use my opposite foot from the one that you've got.
Yeah, because then it creates weird crossovers.
Yeah, it's just my foot wants
to do its own thing.
to do it opposite way.
Okay, so we've done Tai Chi waterfall. All right, so this is another one it's kind of a combination between bringing forth divine flame and Tai Chi waterfall. So remember we did vertical, and so it's like this. Try one hand. Like you had a box cutter and you were up and then down. In karate we call that knife hand. Okay? Now bring the other hand in. Almost. You're doing locomotion. So I want it to just focus up and down in this plane. Here, 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 here. Believe me, you will not have carpal tunnel if you do this. Okay, now opposite. Okay. Pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so we do, let's say we're stepping. We would do a vertical, and turn. And then we like almost like the waterfall, but then instead of this way, we do this way, and then turn it. So basically, once you learn these kind of basic moves, thousands of combinations, you don't even have to finish. Let's say I wanted to do this 4 or 5 times and I really liked the way that felt and I wanted to bring some leg into it, and then turn it. And we get the vertical and bringing it across. Everybody understand the movement? Let's try it. Mostly? So, think about the plane being here.
So it's like this.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. That's it.
Okay.
All right. All right. So we'll start with right foot forward. Bring the right hand up and then down. Left hand up and down. Right up. Left up. Right up. Left up. Right up. Because this is the part everybody was having trouble with. You know that how you can turn after that. We'll turn on the next round. But I just want you to get this motion first. And then drape your chi. Good. Good. All right. So this time we'll do the whole movement. So it's here, here, and then sweep across. And then this hand comes down, this hand comes up, and sweep across. All right, so let's try it. Righty, and we press forward with the right foot, right hand comes up. Left hand comes up. Now turn the palms both facing left. Turn your torso. Now left hand comes down. Right hand comes up, turn the palms, turn into that. The right hand comes down, left hand comes up, and turn. So you can do 2 rotations or you can do 1. But the idea is turn and rotate after you've done 1 or 2 repetitions of that movement. Okay, well done everyone. Let me see if there's any that I haven't done with you. I think that's most of it. Oh, locomotive with watching the eye. Yeah, we'll do that. And then I think we've got them. Okay, so it's similar. So let's say you're doing the rotation and then we leave them here. Okay, so one hand's out, one hand's this way, and then we watch. We watch the hand. Watch the index finger specifically. So that you've got this very concentrated focus, and then you bring that one down, this one up, and you watch. And you could do 2. But it looks really cool where you got this super focused energy moving across. A little bit like Divine Flame in that we're following it with our eye. So they call that watching with the eye. Woo! Come on back. Alrighty. So This is just, we've got rotation. We start right foot forward, right hand up. And then rotate that. And again. And now take that hand. Watch the index finger as you turn your torso to the other side. And then that hand goes down, up, and turn. Now you could do one rotation of this, but it's so similar to some of the others that I like to spend this time focusing on that movement and then turn it. So basically I've got 1, 2, 3, and turn. Watching it with the eye. 1, 2, 3, and watching it with the eye. Drip your chi. Okay. Fantastic, ladies. All right, so go ahead and have your seats again. I'm going to just tie that all together, showing you a few of those. And then we'll move forward to our next section, which we will be doing the breathing on the floor, the breath empowerment. So we'll give our videographer a break after that. So I'm just going to show you again, because now that you have done some of these movements, you'll recognize how I transition in between. Again, no right or wrong way to do it. And sometimes one movement feels really good. So when you combine a movement that feels really good, don't do it over and over and over again. Put something in between it and then come back to that. So he talks about that as being favoring the chi, or like that. So the other thing he talked about a lot, which I liked, is that, as I mentioned in the beginning, this is really kind of a warrior practice. And he said, so if you saw somebody out and they've got this super intense look and they're doing something like this, would you mess with them? No. He's like, you are guarding the cave. You are showing, I got it. I got the chi. Don't mess with me. Right? So there's an intent to Wuji that is different. And it feels really, really great. So I'm just going to freeform it. So if you were starting it, you would do some open and close, some spiral, some pushing, whatever to get the chi flowing. So we don't always have to do this. So you could come and you could start movement with some open and close. Now I'm going to be quiet and just flow, see what comes forward. Okay, so you can do it as long as you want. You can see how, oh, my hand's up here. Maybe I'll try this. My hand's down there. Maybe I even want to feel it behind me. What if I step forward or back? Just whatever comes to mind. Take a smooth way of doing that. So you want to try to keep your pace. So let's say if I'm doing this, and then I'm slow. That looks weird. So try, there's a lot to think about, but ideally you want to keep the pace approximately the same. And what we have a tendency to do is you think of what your next move is and then you rush into it. And it's like, oh yeah, and then I'll do this. And then maybe I'll do this, So in the beginning it's going to be like that, but over time you start concentrating on the speed, no bobbing. We have a tendency, everybody wants to do, the walking crane. So I don't mean to mock her per se. She doesn't know, I don't know even who she is, but there are some things that look cool and some things that look weird. And if you don't have the opportunity to practice in a mirror, you're just going to have to kind of go with the feel with that. So that is Wuji. You can go home, any that you remember, you can practice, but we'll do some reviews, and I'm going to reserve Wuji for seminar because it's too much to do in a 1 hour and get any breathing in. But how many of you enjoyed it? Wasn't that great?
Yes.
Yeah, and I went through probably the first 2 days without actually feeling the chi because Jeff has the he has the metal personality, a little bit of a drill sergeant, right? And so I was like super conscientious of, am I doing it right? And so I couldn't really feel the chi. And after I thought, I don't care if I'm doing it right, I know how to move my body, then I could feel it. It was like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely amazing. And then I watched the children do it, and I'm like, they can do it, right? So just experiment, play with it, have some fun. I want you to, this week, well, tomorrow we have our next class, but over the next week until next Monday, just pick something. Pick a move, do some walking, do some rotating, turning around, backward, forward. Practice no head bobbing. Just take one movement and practice your feet. And then do something different and add them together. Okay? So that is our Wuji. Namaste. Thank you.